Hey guys, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be a nice low-key type sketching in my sketchbook video. And I have been neglecting my sketchbooks a little bit. I have definitely been drawing in them, but I haven't been putting quality stuff in there, and I haven't really been taking the time to look at reference while I'm sketching. And yeah, I wanted to change that for sure. I definitely want to be able to put more substantial things in there, mostly just stuff that has more visual interest to it, because I find that it's really helpful when I'm struggling with an idea for a finished piece for me to look back at my sketches and I can see these little quick ideas that I had. And a lot of times there's something that I really love but I didn't continue it on, and I'm able to take little bits from my sketches and put them into my final finished illustration. So I really like having something that I can go back to and look at it that's my own style and my own work, and see what's actually influencing me already, and then I can take that and use it. So yeah, I definitely want to get a little bit more into spending more time with my sketchbook, which I have since I recorded this video. This video's the footage for it is about 2 weeks old, I think, so I have been pretty dedicated as far as drawing more in my sketchbook and drawing more interesting things, so that's pretty exciting. But the sketchbook itself is actually a Moleskine sketchbook, and I know a lot of people love Moleskine sketchbooks, and I've used it a tiny bit, and I definitely like it. I love the quality of the books and the paper, but it's just a little too much money for the amount of paper that I'm getting, and I burn through sketchbooks a lot, and I just need something that has a little bit more economically sized paper for what I'm getting and what I'm paying for. But I was actually able to get this sketchbook for, it was actually $5 at TJ Maxx. It was dirt cheap. It was one of those flukes where it ended up going on clearance, and I think that just, I don't know, no one bought it. So I did, and it was really exciting. And I actually I really do love working on this paper. I generally prefer a tooth to my sketches, or my sketchbooks when I'm working. But I also like having something that's really smooth like this. It's really nice, especially for inking stuff, and a little bit less for my pencil work. So I think I'll probably transition this more to ink sketches and take my pencil stuff into my slightly more textured mixed media Canson sketchbook. So while I was working on these sketches, I wanted to be sure that I was looking at really inspiring ideas on my computer while I was sketching. And I find that when I'm looking at stuff, really interesting references of things like clothing from different countries, from different eras, jewelry I find is really interesting. There's just so much visual information on the internet that's available and stuff that I find really interesting. So I like to think of a topic or an idea or just a quick little thing that I can search for and find some good images on when I'm sketching. I find that when I do that, my work is just so much more impactful and interesting, and the subject matter is a lot more interesting. And it's not that I have to sit there and study this reference and try to duplicate it perfectly. I'm just looking for details that I find really exciting that I can put in my work, or different avenues that I can take my thought processes and what I'm drawing and what kind of characters I'm drawing. It's just, I've noticed that when I'm actively trying to think of a specific concept to draw, or a specific style or look, or like I said, clothing is a big deal for me, or how characters look like when they're dressed in certain clothing. And thinking about stuff like that before I start sketching and kind of putting myself in that mindset, I've noticed really helps with the quality of my sketches, and I feel a lot more accomplished by the end of it, and I feel like I've explored different visual things that I'm interested in, and I'm cataloging that and seeing that in a concrete form, so that when I'm doing more finished pieces, I can look at that and I can get those ideas back and I can start drawing from there again. And while I was sketching on this, this was actually, I think it was the first time in a long time that I've used graphite pencils for sketching. You've probably noticed that I pretty much exclusively use Col-Erase pencils for my sketching, and really any underline work that's traditional, I've used Col-Erase. And there's a lot of benefits to that because it's a lot less smeary, and you know, as artists, we rub our hands all over the paper and it does smear and it does pick that up. And graphite, you can get the whole page completely dirty because of that. So there's definitely a benefit to Col-Erase, but I've noticed that just like the texture of the pencils and having the variety of hardnesses is just, it's really exciting, and I'm able to get different types of textures, and I find that when I'm letting myself put in these more sketchy details into it intentionally, I like the look of it a little bit more with the graphite than I do with the coal erase. I'm just mostly just really excited to start using a different media again and feeling like it's new again and it's fresh and I can try to figure it out. And I've just really been enjoying the feeling of using graphite again on the paper. It's just a lot softer and I like that. And that is pretty much it. I'm really happy with these. I definitely want to explore more of this visual style of what their clothing looks like. I was really inspired by that. So I'm excited to do more finished pieces that are kind of inspired by these sketches. But that is it, like I said. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at my next video. Bye.